Welcome to our usual horrors. I'm Meeka Nomicon, and today I can play for the game Fawning over a corpse, where Dana and Fawn are a perfectly average couple. They rent an apartment together and have plans to get married. And of course, there is absolutely nothing wrong with Fawn. Fawn doesn't get up for midnight snacks. When she goes to bed, she doesn't awaken until her alarm starts yelling, "I'm the one who's the insomniac." That's why I knew something was wrong when I found her kneeling in front of the fridge that night. Huh? Oh God! If it's what I think it is! I look up and away from my monitor with the sound of the fridge being opened. Shuffling footsteps are dull in my ears, muffled by my closed door. But the good news is, if it's the fridge we're hearing, I don't think it's going to be a home invader. Unless they're just very drunk. I don't stop to question how stupid I look as I lean over and grab the metal bat resting against my bed, pulling up my socks to hide my footsteps as I creep to the door and crack it open. I like us. We're clearly smart. We go for the weaponry. Do not be a burglar. Do not be a burglar. Do not be a burglar. No sign of movement. My next instinct is to check on Fawn. If she's woken up by now, I can barricade myself in her bedroom with her as we wait for the cops to come. Two women against an unknown apartment burglar don't stand a chance. Even I'm smart enough to know that. I wish I didn't drop out of those martial arts classes. It's a stupid, fleeting thought, yes, but one that had crossed my mind many times before. Being this weak and useless has always been a sore point for me, and there's no better time to face this insecurity than while staring down the potential of a goddamn home invader in our apartment. Okay, so we may not have self-defense classes, but we have weaponry, and I feel like that might be superior. Now, with myself completely out of my room, I lean over and all but lunge over to Fawn's bedroom, slipping in through the door and gripping my phone in my other hand. Alright, all that's left is to tell her what's going on. I glance over to her bed, but it's empty. See, what did I tell you? It's not a home invader if they'd gone for the fridge. Fawn? Oh my god, where is she? Why isn't she in bed? She should be here. A quick inspection of her bed reveals to me that the mattress is still warm and the edges of her blue comforter turned inwards. That can only mean she's out there. Alright, well, it's time for us to go to the kitchen and greet Fawn. No, I'm not going to sit by and do nothing. Not this time. Oh, we're still assuming there's a home invader. Okay, well, make sure when we head into the kitchen that we at least ID the person before we start swinging the bat. Don't think it's very okay for us to knock out our fiance or girlfriend with a baseball bat. That's a bit problematic. No more playing around. If I'm dying, I'm going to die protecting my fiance. Stealing my nerves is the easy part. Gripping my bat so tight my knuckles start to lose colour. I pull the door open and start to sprint out with wavering confidence. And promptly slick like a damn cartoon before landing straight on my back. The problems are socks. I mean, I understand we wanted to mask our footstep noise, but they are mighty slippy. Oof! These stupid floors! Do you think they heard me? My heart skips a beat at the sound of the door creaking open, until... Hi, honey! Don't question it. Dana? There's no burglar, is there? No, silly. I was just getting a snack. The face of my fiancée feels my gaze as she leans down to help me up, giving the top of my head a gentle pat. Waves of embarrassment crash through me. from the roots of my hair all the ways to my ankle. Whoops! I'm glad that you were this ready to run out and fight someone for old me though. Really? I don't know why, but I find myself wrapping her in a tight hug, chin resting on the top of Fawn's head. I bite back the urge to cry. Scared the hell out of me! I thought someone broke in. I'm sorry for scaring you, Dana. I didn't mean to. I was just hungry was all. It's fine, it's fine. Really, it wasn't your fault. But as the night settled in, and we both assured one another everything is fine, some inkling of a thought begins to nag at my brain. Try as I might, the thought just wouldn't go away. Leaning my forehead against my hand, the glow of my computer screen is the only thing that illuminates my eyes, as the question runs through my brain 1,000 times a second. Why was she up? It doesn't make sense. Our schedules are almost the polar opposite of one another. I'm lucky enough to have a night shift job, doing some bulk data entry for whatever company. But Fawn's schedule is much more regular. When she goes to bed, she needs every second of sleep she can get. That's the whole reason why we even sleep in separate rooms. I don't want my work to disturb her sleep. I don't know. No matter how much I pick my brain, I can't find a reasonable answer. Deciding to finish my work and head to bed, I try my damnedest to put the issue behind me. It's probably not even an issue, just a little deviation from what I know. When I wake up in the late afternoon, the unease in my stomach starts to worsen. Damn, I overslept! Sitting up in my bed, I run my hand down my face to clear the sleep out of my eyes. A look at my phone makes me wince at how late it is. All in our defense, we had a very eventful night. Fawn's probably coming home soon. I have a few hours to make food for myself and greet her before my shift starts. Untangling the sheets off my legs and scrambling out of bed, I made my way to the kitchen. The sight that greets my eyes is not something I expected to see. Fawn, did you leave the fridge door open? You're gonna spoil the food, Fawn. In all honesty, I'd expected myself to be the only person in our apartment at this time of day. Oh, wait, is Fawn still here? Breakfast. I need me some breakfast. I think we have spaghetti in the fridge still. Spaghetti's good enough for breakfast when it's 5 p.m. Yeah? Well, that's a mighty heavy breakfast. Yeah, it works good enough. I'll eat it cold too. Why not? All of my light-hearted muttering to myself stops in an instant when I turn my head and see Fawn kneeling in front of the fridge. What you doing there, Fawn? Getting yourself a snack? If she noticed me, she sure didn't act like it. Her attention is turned towards the open refrigerator more than anything else. Oh, you're really going through all the food, huh? Are you okay? A quick glance at the floor reveals to me she's been sitting there for a while now. Containers of leftovers, all with various amounts of food in them, scattered the tiles surrounding Fawn. Looking up, I take notice of the glass container in her left hand. It used to be where we stored the extra spaghetti I made a few days ago. Now Fawn is shoving it into her mouth as fast as she could with the other hand. She wasn't even stopping to chew, I don't think. Fawn, I was gonna eat that. Are you okay? You're not even using utensils. She finishes up with the spaghetti and tosses the container onto the ground. Clattering jolts ring out through the kitchen, causing my heart to stutter in its rhythm. Wait, didn't we say that was made of glass? Fawn, did you just break a glass dish? God damn you, Fawn! I can't help but shudder when she tears open a thin plastic bag full of raw ground beef and starts to eat. Holding back my urge to throw up is growing more and more difficult by the second. And now that I was looking at her in the daylight... Oh, Fawn, you're not looking so good. When did Fawn lose weight? I don't remember her being this thin. It's hard to even look at her like this, devouring raw meat of all things. Well, it would make sense if we just sneak away. I mean, it's not happening if we don't talk about it, right? But, I'm rather concerned. Fawn, are you okay? Are you a zombie now? Is that why you're going for the raw meat? Fawn, are you okay? Is everything okay? She doesn't respond. If anything, she doesn't even seem like she heard me. Her eyes are glazed over, stuffing handfuls of what I can only describe as mush into her mouth. It's barely even identifiable as beef before she devours it. I'm pretty sure you are gonna get so ill. Oh, you are gonna get so many infections. Grabbing anything she can get her hands on. Tearing into it all, like some sort of starving animal. The visceral horror that overwhelms me makes me feel as if I'd stumbled upon a bear in its campsite. No! What the hell am I thinking? This is Fawn, not a wild animal. As if she'd bitten into an overripe tomato, red juices start to drip down the corner of her chin. I tried calling for Fawn again, louder this time. Fawn? Fawn! Still no response. I approach her, careful not to step on any empty containers, and place my hand on her shoulder. That was probably a mistake. Why do I get the feeling we're gonna lose our hand? I could swear I heard her snarl before her head whips around to me. It takes a minute for her eyes to flash with recognition. Hey, Fawn, how you doing? I think you might need to see a doctor. Dana? Are you alright? Yeah, just spaced out a bit, I think. She chuckles humorously, standing up and looking over to the pseras surrounding her. I'll get them up. I moved to stop her before pausing. She seemed fine now, so I should just leave her be. She was fine, right? I was just imagining it. Ah, yes. We've now entered our stage of denial. Everything is fine as long as we believe it is so. Yeah, Fawn wasn't an animal. Not in the slightest. Even if she had some binge-eating habits, she was no animal. Okay, I will believe Fawn is fine. But I'm not kissing her until she brushes her teeth. It just means I had to get more groceries. I had really, truly, sincerely tried to delude myself into believing my own lies. But they were only dreams, and deep down, I knew that too. I'd held on to these wishes as tightly as I did, because grappling the truth would have sent me free-falling down the already crumbling edge of stability. The truth that Fawn, my rock, my love, my dearest, was wasting away before my very eyes. I did everything I could. I really did. I tried so hard to bring Fawn back from the dark place she'd been going down at a frightening speed. No one could say I didn't give it my all. But she kept saying everything was fine, that she was okay, that I shouldn't worry about her. As the weeks passed, she kept eating and eating everything she could, drooling listlessly as she did. Even still, she kept losing weight. I still stayed with her though, stayed as long as I could, trying to get her to seek help. Even then, I couldn't just let her starve. So despite everything, I brought her more and more food to eat. Anything so my love wouldn't be in such hunger and thirst. But it wasn't enough. Well, clearly, we have not been providing the right kind of food. Why do I get the feeling she requires a more human palate? Fawn, I'm home. Struggling to hold the multiple plastic bags of food I brought from the convenience store down the corner, I pushed the door closed with my foot and stepped through. It's quieter than I expected. I'd left the house while Fawn was on the phone, ordering the pizza, delivery specifically. She'd been doing that a lot. When we didn't have any more food in the house, she'd start ordering takeout. Oh, that's gotta be pricey. My bank account is starting to sag, but I'm doing it all for her. Because I love Fawn. Because I love her, and I'm not scared of her at all. Even when she snaps at the littlest things. When I set the groceries down and take in my surroundings, I realize the smell of something is in the air. It's not cooking or anything, and it's clashing with the scent of pizza. Is it the scent of a corpse? Fawn, did you kill someone? Fawn, did you kill the pizza boy? Fawn? Fawn, where are you? Did she leave? Blinking once, I hold my breath and try to listen for her. Soft tearing and chewing noises are just barely audible if I strain my ears. Somewhere in the dining room. Oh, she is so feasting on the corpse. When I release my breath and look down, a floor covered in blood fills my vision. Whose blood is this? Muffling a gasp, I drop the bags onto the floor and start to back away. The blood seems to be coming from the fridge. Rivulets of crimson pull from the edges of the door and onto the ground. Okay, well, this is a bad situation to be in. But, silver linings. At least she's still aware enough to put the meat within the fridge so it doesn't spoil. It's a small silver lining, but it's there. I look up at the sink. The sink only drips if someone turned it on a few minutes ago. Blood streaks line the stainless steel. What happened here? Murder. Murder happened here. Oh wait, we can look in the fridge. We have so got to do that. I know avoidance is probably the solution, but nope, we're looking in the fridge. What the hell is in the fridge? I'm expecting a decapitated head. A low, sinking feeling in my stomach only deepens as I advance over to the fridge. Even if Fawn confronts me about it now, I can act like I'm just putting away the groceries. Come on, open the fridge. I dare you. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Wait, what? No head? Not even a dismembered arm? Not even a finger? Oh, Fawn, you disappoint me. Thank God. The slightest sigh of relief has expelled from my chest. I guess I'm just on edge. I know Fawn. She'd never do something like this. The mostly empty fridge shines a harsh white light upon my face. It's bright and clean. I'd recently scrubbed it out after Fawn emptied it again. It's too clean. I look down and realized the blood wasn't coming from our fridge. It's pooling from the freezer. Oh no! Despite everything in me screaming to pull away and to leave it alone, I kneel down and open the drawer. Oh, there's our head! I take it back, Fawn. You don't disappoint me at all. Ah! The soulless look in the young man's eyes tear through all the flesh and bone in me, prodding straight into my mind. Can I just point out, Fawn, though, this is a very foolish thing to do. I mean, the problem is, the pizza joint knows that you ordered the pizza. So when inevitably the pizza boy does not come back, they're gonna know you murdered him. As if he's asking why I let this happen to him. Why I wasn't there to stop. Dana? Are you hurt? I don't even think to respond to Fawn. I break into a mad dash for the bathroom and slam the door behind me. This isn't happening. This isn't real. She would never do something horrible like this. Fawn wouldn't hurt anyone. There had to be some other reason that I didn't think of. Okay, so other reason. How about we just say that the pizza boy dismembered himself and stuck himself in the freezer? I feel like this is highly plausible. Dry heaving fills the claustrophobic bathroom around me. Oh, wait, that's me. I swallow down the metallic forewarning of vomit before I spew into the bathtub. Pulling away from the door as it rattles, I glance back at the sole window in the bathroom. Why am I so intent on finding ways to escape? Dana, are you okay? Please answer me. Fawn? What did you do? Why is the pizza guy in our freezer? Did you do that? Did you? I clap my hand over my mouth. Yelling has always been a line too far for me. My dad always yelled whenever he was upset, and I never wanted to be like that. Okay, I understand, like, yelling at your partner's not really a good thing to do. But I feel like there's certain scenarios where yelling's justified. And discovering your fiancé murdered a guy, I feel like that gets a pass. You can yell at that. She didn't hurt anyone. She couldn't have. Fawn can explain this all away, right? I could have just asked her and saved all the trouble. I had to protect myself. If I hadn't done it, he would have hurt me, or worse. I don't know if I buy that. What? Dana, please open the door. Please. You know I love you. I'm not a bad person. All I wanted was to protect myself. You killed! The realization of what she's done spins through my mind 1,000 times over. But if I don't say it out loud, maybe it won't be true. As if my acknowledgement is what everything hinges upon. Please don't use that word. It's so ugly. Just answer the question. Even I'm startled at how loud I've shrieked. I did what I had to. That's all. Please don't call the cops, love. I can't lose you. I'm dreaming. That's all this is. This isn't how Fawn really acts. Not in a million years. I don't know how long I sat there trembling against the icy bathtub, sobbing to myself. All I know is that Fawn had eventually left the doorway. Perhaps she wandered to the kitchen and started to eat. Ah yes, she's just nibbling on a toe in there. When I'm sure it's just me, I stand up and unlock the door. It's almost nighttime anyway. It's time for me to go to work. Maybe it's wrong of me to try and snap back to normal after seeing something that horrific. I don't know. Part of me feels like if I dwell on it, I'll just fall to pieces. Yeah, I didn't get much done. Who could focus on work after something like that anyway? Certainly no sane person, that's for sure. Instead, I found myself in a frantic haze, looking up anything that could have even been remotely related to Fawn's descent. Chronic wasting disease? That only happens to, like, deer and elk, right? But other symptoms are lining up. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Tapping the down arrow key on my keyboard, I scroll past the symptoms section of the page I've pulled up. My finger burns from how much I had rolled across my mouse's scroll wheel, my eyes stinging from the blue light. Fawn? Are you dead? Are you now a ghost? Maybe Fawn's been dead this entire time, and her skin's been taken over by a skinwalker. And that is why she's wasting away, because she is in fact a corpse. Emboldened in black text is one simple phrase. No cases of chronic wasting disease have ever been reported in humans. Damn! Either I'm completely off my mark, or my fiancé is breaking new medical ground without even knowing it. Why did it have to be Fawn of all people? Why couldn't it have been anyone else? Of course, it wasn't just going to sit back after the things I've seen. It would just be wrong. But above all else, I really do think Fawn needs help. Let's face it, Fawn needed help way before she even murdered somebody. I just wanted to get as much information as I could before I ran and got her help. Even if I was afraid of her, I wanted to know what she was suffering from. Blinking hard to clear my eyes, I click away from the page and start to scroll again. It's 3 in the morning now, and my mind is spiraling down the brink of horror the more I look. Sometimes, I think I can almost see her just standing there with me. It's so faint, and probably a trick of the light, but it leaves me with a prickly feeling in my chest. A low, guttural groan of pure exhaustion ripple from my chest. I plant my head on my desk. I don't want to get up, but eventually I find myself sitting up again and leaning over to grab an old camcorder. I'd always been a sucker for older technology, even if I knew that my phone could make much better video. The path to the video in question is something I've executed 100 times over. Ah, hi Fawn. Is this back before you were dead? Do you like it? I finished putting your desk together and set up your computer. I know you have some posters that you want to put up yourself, and your books are still in their boxes, but I just wanted to get this set up for you. Oh, it's perfect! Thank you so much, dear. Really? God, who knows how long I've been working on that. I'll finish up with the kitchen in a few. Don't worry. Fawn looks at the camcorder and smiles. Love, are you recording? Yeah. Sorry, I'm just feeling sentimental right now. You know, might look back on all this at some point and all. Getting out of my dad's place and getting to be with you has just got me feeling all mushy inside, you know? Oh, you don't have to apologize for it. I think it's sweet. Looking back now, I realize that this was the moment when our apartment started to feel like a home. The place was half decorated at best, but in 2 days, I developed a sense of belonging in my heart that I never had with my dad. My engagement ring glimmers in the dim light of the video. It's brand new, and I'd only been wearing it a few weeks beforehand. We'd been so in love and happy together. Why did it have to change? Huh? Dana, it's me. Fawn! I wipe the tears away from my eyes and closed the camcorder. Standing up, I made my way over to the door and opened it an inch. You, finished with the pizza boy? As nervous as I am, I'm still talking to the fawn I fell in love with. How you doing, fawn? Do you still love me? Yeah, I do. I never stopped. You don't have to worry, really. I didn't mean to yell earlier. I guess I just panicked. Are you sure? Of course. Nothing I'd said was a lie. Even after everything she'd done, I still love her more than anything. I'd do anything for Fawn. That's why I'm trying to get her help. Scrubbing her eyes with the edge of her sweater and wiping the drool from her mouth, Fawn gives me a wavering smile. Even after everything today, I still see the beauty of her face. Dana? Yeah? Can I sleep in your room? Please. I don't want to be alone tonight. Why do I feel like by saying yes, I'm gonna get myself consumed? Sod it. I love you, Fawn, but if you eat my hand, I will break up our engagement. I was gonna say divorce you, but we're not yet married, so I can't do that. Stay with me. It's okay. I won't keep you up or anything. Fawn isn't a monster or a horrible person. She's just a woman terrified of her disease, trembling like a malnourished doe. Her smile widens. For a moment, Fawn's eyes look so clear and beautiful again, and in an instant, I was transported back to the days when the smell of cardboard boxes was thick in the air and our kitchen was half finished. Thank you. You're welcome. You just know the rules. Don't eat me. I love you, Dana. I love you too. And that's why I'm doing this. Because I love you. Fawn must have been exhausted. She fell asleep the moment her head hit my pillow. My computer screen didn't seem to bother her in the slightest. You could almost say she sleeps like the dead. She looks so peaceful like this. It's while looking at her, smiling soft and wrapped up in my blankets, that I make up my mind. I'd do anything for her. Even when she woke up with bloodshot eyes and took an arm out of the freezer to satiate her hunger, I didn't look away. Wait, if we do anything for Fawn, does that mean we're gonna start murdering people to feed her? Why do I get the feeling? This is reminding me of, Let the Right One In, I think? The vampire one. I'm not really proud to admit it, but I stayed for a while, probably longer than I should have. It wasn't that bad, anyway, right? Fawn never turned her gaze towards me. Besides, when she died, she had a moment of lucidity that made me forget what was happening to her. I kept researching, looking up everything I could about chronic wasting disease. Either getting Fawn to help or knowing the ins and outs of what she was going through would put my mind at ease. Or at least, that's how it started. The hunger pangs were so subtle, I didn't realize what was happening. All I knew was that after a few days, I was throwing a little bit of extra food in for myself whenever I went shopping. Oh, wait. Is the chronic wasting disorder transmittable by, air? Because that's a problem. We seem to be wasting as well. Working became harder. Spacing in and out of my thoughts were frighteningly common, and grew more so by the day. I was starving. Fawn ran out of meat the day I realized what was happening to me. But by then, I would have done anything to curb the pains that were growing deeper by the hour. Ah. Ah, so we're now murder fiancés. That's a pity. We're all out of meat, Dana. Dana, what's the matter? I want to eat too. My voice, quiet and hoarse, can barely be heard over our breathing. Even in my foggy, starving stupor, my heart still skips a beat at the sight of Fawn's smile. See, I knew you'd come around. She leans in and kisses me ever so gently. Yes, that's how it all started, with her kiss. What did I tell you about kissing her without her brushing her teeth? No, it's not just a kiss. It started with her love. She loved me so much, she wanted me to eat too. Let's go find some fresh meat, okay? Okay. Ending 4. Part of the herd. We are now murder wives. So I'm guessing then one of our other endings would be if we refuse to let her in our bedroom. Because maybe that's what infected me. I mean, we did say it started with the kiss, right? You know what I'm really curious about? What would happen if we did try and call the cops? Also, I just realised our bat has antlers. Did we go hunting recently? Is that how she got infected with the wasting disease? Alright, let's call the cops. No, I'm not going out there. Ford wouldn't want me to get hurt or worse, right? I'm calling the cops for her. Well, I don't get the feeling she's going to walk into the room before we get to. Swallowing down my guilt, I pushed her nightstand in front of the door. After that, I shuffled to the back corner of her bedroom, dialing 911 with my free hand. Oh, I can't believe we barred her out of the bedroom though. That seems a little bit mean. I mean, I can understand why we did it in case it was an intruder. Oh, even our phone has the antlers. 911, what's your emergency? I think there's someone in my apartment. Can you give me your location, ma'am? With my voice low, I spilled our address and apartment number. It's only then I realized just how badly my hands are shaking. Police are on their way. Thank you. Thank you so much. My fiancé is out there. I don't know if she's okay or not. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Someone's going to hear you. I sink down to the floor of Fawn's bedroom, jumping at every slight noise. Sometimes I remember to let the operator know I was still on the line. Anything to keep myself from panicking or passing out. All I have to do now is wait it out. And... Sorry, this is occupied. You're not allowed in. The rattling of the bedroom door snaps me back into reality. My bat slips out of my hand and crashes to the floor. Fawn! Clapping my hand over my mouth, the realization of what I just did sets in. As if I wasn't enough of an idiot. I just had to blow my cover, huh? Well, to be fair, if it was an intruder, but the fact the door is jammed is going to give away where we are regardless. Shrinking away from the door seems practically useless, yet I find my back pressing tighter against the corner. That's not Fawn. That's not Fawn. There's a very good chance that's not Fawn. What if they have a gun, huh? What then? Did I just get us both killed? Did I just give away the only advantage I have here? What if they... Dana? Why did you lock me out? I scrambled to my feet so quickly, I almost tripped on my bat. Shoving the nightstand out of the way with what little strength I have, I swing the door open and pull Fawn into her bedroom by the arm before barricading the door again. What were you doing up? Actually, wait, never mind that. Are you okay? Did you see anyone out there? I already called the cops, don't worry. Dana, what are you talking about? Hey, lower your voice! I heard someone walking around in our apartment. I think they opened the fridge. It's really not clicking for us, is it? That Dana was outside her bedroom, where noises were occurring. After the momentary confusion passes across Fawn's voice, she smiles and begins to laugh. It's a warm, gentle laugh, one that I've heard thousands of times before. Dana, dear, that was me. I was just getting a snack. Oh! Alright, so I wrongly assumed my fiancé shuffling around in our apartment was a burglar. So what? Anyone would do the same. In hindsight, I was acting so irrational over nothing. Called the cops for nothing, too. There's no way in hell I'm going to live this down. Maybe you should tell the operator to cancel the cops. The police came soon after. To say they were annoyed when we explained what happened would be a severe understatement. I wanted to hide under something when they left. So there I was, sitting on the floor, staring at my hands, taking in the fact I called the cops over my fiancé getting some food in the middle of the night. Fawn must have seen the look on my face, because before I knew it, she's wrapping me up tight in an embrace. Slender fingers stroke the back of my hair as she utters all sorts of reassurances to me. Don't beat yourself up over it. I'm really sorry for scaring you, my love. It does make me feel better knowing you're here to protect us at night. If something does happen, though, you're so much braver than you give yourself credit for. Fawn gives me a kiss in the forehead and tells me how lucky she is to have me. Before I know it, I find myself melting into her touch. It's not fair. How do you always know what to say? I smile back at her and hug her as tight as I can. I'm not sure then how much difference is going to be between these three, because all three of them is trying to get her attention, right? I'm curious, what if we just announce our presence? It's probably for the best to let her know I'm here. I shouldn't startle her, though. Leaning over, I place my hand rather roughly on the nearby counter and step forward onto the old floorboard that creaks whenever there's weight on it. Have you noticed me? To my surprise, it seemed to actually snap her out of it. She gasps and looks away from the raw meat. Her eyes meet mine, and for a second, there's a wild and feral glimmer to them. It disappears within a breath's time, though, and I'm looking into the gaze of my fiancé again. Dana! When did you get up? I didn't hear you. A few minutes ago. My eyes are the first to look away, instead turning my attention to the carnage scattered across the ground. Not a word is uttered between us for what feels like ages. Fawn speaks up first. I'm sorry about the mess. I just got a bit hungry is all. I don't think that's just regular hunger. Don't worry about the mess, okay? I'll clean it all up. The fact that she's so calm about this whole situation only makes the pit in my stomach worsen. Try as I might, though, the words to describe my unease fails to appear on my tongue. I guess I'll pop out to the shops and restock for you, alright? Thank you, Dana. And without 1,000 words left unsaid, I make my way out of the apartment. I had really, truly, sincerely tried to delude myself into believing my own lies. Right, I'm curious. What's in the sink, huh? Well, the sink is pretty definite proof Fawn was just here, and carries the least risk of... I shuddered to banish the thought from my head. I am not scared of my fiancé, no matter what my stupid mind tells me. Stepping over the blood, I peer into the sink. Ah, well, we at least now know she killed him with the cleaver. The bloody meat cleaver lying in the sink seems to almost taunt me. Ah! Dana, are you hurt? Even after hearing the voice of my fiancé, the panic strikes my nerves, takes over. Falling back and away from the cleaver, I step backwards into a pool of blood. It's still warm. What did she do? What did Fawn do? This isn't normal. This isn't right. This isn't. Before I can stop myself, I break into a sprint and head straight for the bathroom. Well, I definitely think this is going to be a big choice that will change our endings. So I'm terribly sorry, Fawn, but I don't think you can sleep in here. I don't think so. I'm not scared of her. I know she wouldn't hurt me, but I just can't let her see what I've been looking up in my spare time. She might get upset, say she doesn't need it, or do something worse. Her crestfallen expression makes the regret settle in immediately. It's not because of you. No, it's okay. I understand, really. See you in the afternoon, okay? Yeah. I love you, Fawn. I love you, Fawn. Oh, there it is. I love you too. I thought you weren't going to say it back then. Fawn reaches out slow and closes the door, so softly I can't even hear the knob click into place. How did it get to this point? I didn't have the heart to look her in the eye until late the next time. By then, I'd walked right into the kitchen to watch her tear through the arm of someone whose name I would never know. And this time, I didn't look away. After a few weeks, Fawn ran out of meat. She knew it was coming. I did too. By then, though, I'd done everything I needed to do for a clean and swift getaway. I pulled enough funds from my bank account to keep me afloat in a hotel for a few weeks, all the while keeping my head down and pretending nothing was wrong. I'd rehearsed my plan so many times, I was sure I could sleepwalk through each step with relative ease. As long as everything went to plan, then I should be safe and get Fawn the help she deserves. Right? 1 hour, 15 minutes. That's enough for her to get to work and stay there. If Fawn's even going to work still. I hope she isn't. I hope she's just walking to a park and zoning out or something. Let's face it, if she's walking to a park, she's absolutely doing it to find a new victim. I feel horrible thinking about it, but I don't want her to hurt herself. Or anyone else. Pushing down the swirling thoughts into the darkest corner of my brain, I grab my backpack and sling it over my shoulder. There's a few change of clothes, some immediate sentimental items, but apart from that, I didn't take much. This isn't my first time dropping everything and running when everyone's back is turned. All I hope is that it's my last. It's a conscious effort to loosen my grip on the note I was going to leave for Fawn. Wrinkle it anymore and she might not even be able to read it. Swallowing the last bit of cowardice in me has become easier than I expected, because I know this is the right thing. With my phone now fully charged, I step out of my room and make the call to 911. 911, what's your emergency? It's my fiancé, Vaughn. She's come down with something, and I think it's killing her. A disease, I mean. She's come down with a disease, yeah. Can you be more specific? What are her symptoms? She's been dropping weight so fast. Her appetite's gotten so much worse. She's drinking everything, and I don't think she's in her right mind. It's not rabies. It's not rabies. She does not have rabies. Now we've repeated that 3 times, it must be true. Kinda like going home to Kansas. Just gotta say it 3 times. I'm scared of her. Please, can you just, please, send an ambulance or something for her? She needs to go to the hospital before she hurts herself. Or someone else again. What do you mean, again? Dana? Who are you talking to? Vaughn? Ma'am, are you still there? What did I tell you about her going to the park to kill someone? Love, where are you going? Who are you on the phone with? Vaughn, aren't you supposed to be at work or something? It's still early, right? Did you forget something on your way to work? I've gotten everything I need from there today. I see you've got the bloody cleaver. The dread that's been culminating in my stomach all week boils over like an unwatched pot when I see the knife in her hand. There's nothing behind her eyes now, just a dull, empty glaze. Dear, what did you do? I went and got more meat. I know if I look in the freezer again, there'll be a fresh corpse dissected into neat little chunks for her to eat when the hunger pains get too much. I can't just hold my tongue anymore. Gripping my phone in my hand, I quell my fears and start to speak. Vaughn, do you remember when we first met? Of course I do. Do you remember when you said you used to hunt and eat deer meat with your family? You told me that on our second date. Dana, what are you going on about? Vaughn, you're really sick, and I think it came from the deer meat you ate. It can stay dormant in you for years, and it just chose to show up now. Love, nothing's wrong with me. Honest. No more denial. Vaughn, this isn't okay. There is something wrong now, and it's a disease that's making you kill and eat people. I'm doing this because I love you, Vaughn, because you need help. Oh, we are so gonna get murdered. You don't get it, do you? I'll show you. I'll show you nothing is wrong. She takes a step forward, and I take a step back. Vaughn, please, put the knife down. Vaughn! We don't have to do this. You're only making it worse for yourself. Nothing's wrong. Nothing is wrong. At all. If I don't do something now, I'll die by Fawn's hand, with only one thing left to do. I'm sorry, my love. I break into a mad sprint for the door, giving Fawn a rough shove out of my way. With each step, I convince myself it's for the best. My phone is still on the call with the 911 operator. They'd have heard everything. Help should be on the way. Dana! Dana! Please! Keeping my eyes trained on the stairs in front of me, I start to descend as fast as I can. When my bare feet hit the steps, I ignore the sting of hot metal and sharp pebbles. All I care about is getting away. Our apartment door is flung open so quickly, I'm sure the knob would have dented the wall. When I look back, I barely even recognize the woman chasing after me, streaked in blood and holding the largest meat cleaver we have in our house. The good news is the cops are on the way. Come back to me, Dana. I'll show you how much I love you. I try so hard to get away, but when I make it to the 3rd floor... Ah! She grabs me by the back of my blouse's collar and pulls me to her. Oh, I think I'm now dead. Dana, I love you, Dana. Stay with me forever. My phone slips out of my hands, shattering on the concrete pavement below our feet. When she presses the cold, sticky metal against my throat, all I can think of is to fight and survive. Get off of me! Even with a strength I didn't know I had, whirling around and throwing Fawn off me is an intense struggle. She grabs at me, pawing and swinging, and I do everything I can to force the knife out of her hands. That's all I wanted to do, grab her wrist and throw the cleaver away from her. But something went wrong, and... Fawn stumbles backwards, over the hip-high railing, and she fell. Fawn! Well, that's why you shouldn't fight on the stairs. Despite everything I've been through, when I start to run down the stairs, I run to save my Fawn. I run and I run and run until eventually I dash right into the arms of a police officer. It didn't take much for Fawn to be restrained. No matter how much she kicked and screamed, she was still lying on the ground with broken bones and punctured lungs. I watched as Fawn is strapped down to the gurney and wheeled away to the hospital. The police questioned me afterwards, asking about what Fawn had done. I didn't say a thing until I had a lawyer. The aftermath of everything was so exhausting. I could barely even remember my own name by the end of it. But I did what I had to do. Fawn was in the hospital. Maybe she'd get treated. Maybe she would just be comfortable until the end. And I was the one who brought her the help she needed. Staring at the ceiling of my musty hotel room won't get me to sleep. It's been a while since Fawn was quartered straight to the hospital. A month? 2. It's hard to keep count. I get up and turn on the bathroom sink just to hear something accept my thoughts. Ah! And the sink runs with blood. What am I going to do now? I left her there. I left her on the ground. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe I'll never get over the guilt. I know I did the best I could. Everyone around me said it. The local news hailed me as a hero. But I don't feel like a hero. My mind screams, "You left her," 1,000 times over in my head. The cold water from the sink feels more like her blood against my fingers. And every time I close my eyes, I can still see the way her legs were bent in ways their bodies should not move. The look of betrayal on her face as she plummeted to the scorching summer concrete. The sound of her bones snapping. No, I'm alive. Fawn's alive. And she can't hurt anyone anymore. She'll get help because of me. And if Fawn was in her right mind, she would have done the same for me. And that's what love is. Love is finally accepting ugly truths and working to heal from the aftermath. I'll visit her in the hospital tomorrow morning. Maybe she might recognize me as more than just food. Ending 1. I still love you. So it seems like we've gone through both extremes of the spectrum then. First we got her help. Well, no, first we became her, and then we got her help. Right, our only option left is to wait for Fawn. My knees give out underneath me. I can't do it. I can't. I'm doing everything I can to manifest even a crumb of courage, but I can't. Fawn, I'm sorry. I can't go out there. No matter how much I try to will it in me, I can't do a single thing. My bat drops out of my hands, and I sink down with my back to the wall. Freezing up is the exact opposite of what I want and need to do, but here I am now. Before too long, I scramble to my feet as the door to Fawn's room creaks open. A mad dash to grab my bat punctuates the holler I can't help but let out. Sweetheart, are you okay? Whatever trance gripped my limbs wears off in an instant at the sight of her face peering in through the door. Shooting back up to my feet, I grab her by the fabric of her shirt and pull her back into her room. Dana! Forget me! Are you okay? I heard rustling in the apartment. Are you okay? You're not hurt. Have you called the cops yet? Do you need me to? Call the cops? For what? A look of realization crosses Fawn's face, and she smiles wide. God, I could look at that smile for hours. Dana, that was me. I was getting a snack. I was hungry. Oh, oops. Sorry, I guess I overreacted. I dropped the bat onto the floor. Suddenly my lack of bravado seems even more pathetic than before. She wasn't even in any danger, yet here I was, cowering like a fool. Fawn embraces me as I rest my chin on the top of her head. I can feel her hand gently stroke my back in soothing motions. Oh, don't worry. I'm actually happy you were ready to defend me. It makes me feel just a little bit safer. I figure it's probably for the best I don't mention how racked with terror I've been. To the point where I couldn't even move. It'll help me look not terrible in front of my fiancé. I think I want to do a complete coward's run. So I'm just sneak back out and pretend we didn't see anything. This isn't normal. This isn't right. I should have pressed the issue last night when I could. Her eyes look so distant, like she's a dead woman walking. Once again, I find myself running from any and all struggles in my life, turning right around and shuffling away before she notices my presence. It feels horrible to do so, but some deep part of me is terrified of what might happen if Fawn turns her gaze on me in this state. The thought of being scared of my own fiancé sickens me to my stomach. The creak of the floorboards makes me tense up, as if I were a child that had been caught doing something they shouldn't. Fawn doesn't even look back, too engrossed in all the meat she can devour. With haste, I rush back into my room, grabbing the key and locking the door. I'll check on her in a bit, when she's feeling better. When I enter the kitchen again, I hold back a gasp of horror. There are containers scattered everywhere. Food and sauces splashed across the floor. No sign of Fawn can I see. Maybe she's asleep. Without so much as a word, I grab the containers and start to put them in the sink. I'll wash them up after I mop up the fluid splattered on the ground. When I'm done, I'll go get groceries. Not a word was said between us regarding what I'd seen. I figured she didn't want to be reminded of it. If she even remembers it. Well, we have no other options. We must look away. If we see nothing, then nothing is happening. Why is my body freezing up now? I have to do something, don't I? Don't I? Say we're doing something, we're just backing away slowly. Everything is fine. Everyone is okay. Nothing is wrong. Yeah, nothing is wrong with Thorn. She just spilled some meat juices is all. That's all this is. Maybe if I just stay real quiet and help Thorn clean up her mess, everything will be okay. Maybe. I'm sure Thorn has an explanation for this. She would never. Doing my best to plaster a smile on my face, I grab the mop again and start to clean up the blood on the floor. Once I put away the groceries, I can clean the blood off the sink. Because everything is fine, and I have nothing to worry about. Oh, welcome home, Dana. Hi, dear. I got everything you wanted. Thank you. Sorry about the mess. I didn't hear you. It's okay, don't worry. I'm almost done. You really are the sweetest. Wait, is that a heart? She pulls open the bags of groceries and tears open a package of raw ground beef with her teeth. Every fibre of my resistance is put towards looking away and not saying a thing. I soak up all the blood I can and turn on the water. It's easier to suppress my dry heaving than it is to scrub the meat cleaver in the middle of the sink. Turning the knife over and over in my hand, I watch with an empty gaze as all the blood runs down the metal and into the drain. Questioning who it belongs to will only bring sorrow. And of course, ignorance is bliss. You know, I would never hurt someone for fun, right? Yeah, I know. It was self-defense. I had to. But I don't need to know. If I don't know, then I'm okay. If I hadn't, he would have hurt me. Or worse. I know. You wouldn't do anything violent on purpose. Like you said. Yeah. Yeah. I love you, Dana. I love you too. Maybe, if we played pretend enough, everything would go back to normal. Yeah, I didn't get much done. Who could focus on work after something like that anyway? I didn't keep track of how much meat she had in the freezer. Maybe I'd hoped that, if I kept my head down and I played along with everything she wanted, Fawn would snap back to normal one day. When she ran out, I helped her get more. I'm not proud of it, but I thought to myself, it's not so bad. I'm not the one doing the deed. I was just the law. Fawn was the one who swung the knife. And it was okay for a while. Months, maybe. We settled into a cycle of love, fear, blood, and guts. Every day, I'd count how long it had been since we had to hunt. I prayed the days between our nights out would become longer. Funny, isn't it? Even if I didn't keep stock of our supplies, I still counted it in a way by reminding myself of the days that passed between them. It usually took Fawn about 2 weeks to nibble on an entire snack. When 2 weeks became 3, I kept my hopes up. A part of me hoped that it was a sign of her recovery. If only I knew the truth. Dana, can you come here, please? Sure, honey. Pinning my elbow down to my knee to stop it from bouncing, I stand up and brace myself on the dining table. Fawn knows that I hate to watch her work. Even if it's beautiful in a horrible way, even if she's become so skilled, watching her cut and dissect is like watching a painter create their masterpiece. She loves me so much, she lets me hide in the other room and block out the sounds of chopping and screaming. Blood splatters litter the room around us, and the miasma of death thickens in the air, like a putrid reminder of what Fawn just did. The freezer is packed to the brim again. Judging by the look on her face, she hasn't eaten yet. What's the matter, dear? You know I love you, right? Mm-hmm. What's with a knife? Then, you know that I wouldn't ever let anyone take you away. By the time I realize what's happening, she's already stepping forward, cleaver in hand. Oh! I guess I'm gonna be consumed. Fawn? Fawn, wait! Don't do this, not me, too! We'll be together, forever. Isn't that wonderful? You know what, Fawn? I think I want a divorce. I can only get a few steps away before she strikes me in the back, and I fall to the ground with a heavy thud. Pain searing through my shoulder blades makes my vision waver and my eyes water. I love you, Dana. For a moment, I almost feel as if wings were blooming from my back, like I was being set free from all my dread and worries. But I know that's just the wistful fancy of a dying woman. At least my Fawn wouldn't go hungry. Ending 3, in one swift bite. We're down to our last options. We're just gonna say hey. Hey! Hey, Fawn, what are you doing? Fawn doesn't even respond. All she's focused on is tearing through anything she can get her hands on in a maddened further. Nothing is safe. It doesn't matter what she gets her hands on. Cooked raw ingredients, garnishes, dressings. It all gets torn down and stuffed through her gullet. I've never seen her like this before, as if a wild animal were ripping into its prey. Fawn sprays blood and juices across the floor. Despite everything that tells me otherwise, I advance forward towards her. Fawn, you're scaring me. And still, she says nothing, sees nothing but the food in front of her. Reaching out, I place a hand on Fawn's shoulder, and she jumps. Oh, hi, Dana. Even still, she sounds spaced out, as if some part of her mind lingers in the trance she found herself in. Are you okay? Is everything all right? Yeah, I'm fine. I was just a bit hungry is all. I watched in muffled horror as Fawn stands up with shaky knees, leaning over the sink and turning it on to wash all the carnage off her face. I guess I zoned out while eating is all. That wasn't... Fawn! Fawn, that wasn't just zoning out. When people zone out, they don't just do that. Fawn, we need to... Dana, I said I'm fine. I don't think you're fine. Sorry, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pushed. I was worried. No. I should be the one apologizing. God, I promised I'd never raise my voice at you. I shouldn't have done that. It's fine, really. I was the one pushing the issue. Drying off her hands and face, she steps forward to give me a hug. I lean in to accept it. The scent of rusted iron is in her hair. I had really, truly, sincerely tried to delude myself into believing my own lies. Now it's time. We've saved the best for last. We get to look in the dining room. I'm predicting Fawn is chomping down on a leg. Why am I nervous? It's just Fawn is all. I'm going to talk to her. Of course, she would have a reasonable explanation for all of this. Fawn? Fawn, are you in here? What you munching on? Oh, welcome home, Dana. Hi. The dining table is covered with food scraps. Dangling from Fawn's hand is a slice of half-eaten pizza. But I have a feeling the splatters of red on the hardwood isn't tomato sauce. There's no glimmer of energy within her eyes. She looks exhausted and empty inside. It's as if the lights are on, but no one is mentally home. I saw the kitchen. What happened, Fawn? I only did what I had to do. If I hadn't, he would have hurt me. Or worse. It was self-defense. I don't want to hurt anyone. Fawn, what are you saying? Did you kill someone? That's a strong word. All I did was protect myself. Nothing more. Ice runs through my blood, even through the dead summer heat. This isn't... I don't understand what she's actually saying. Am I... She doesn't mean she actually killed someone. Please don't worry about the mess. I don't want to burden you with the cleanup. I'll take care of it after I eat, okay? Yeah, sure. Is that really what she thinks I'm worried about? The mess? It's all your fault. There you are just staring at us. You caused all this carnage. You think I'm a bad person for this, don't you? I open my mouth to say that I don't, and that I never would. Some part of me, terrified of the unavoidable truth, brings me to say what I'm really thinking. Vaughn, I don't know what to think. That's the problem. I'm worried about you. I've been telling you, you don't need to. Vaughn, you killed someone. His blood is all over the kitchen. It's a pretty hard thing to get out of. Are you realizing what you've now done? Oh my God. Her grip on the food drops to the floor, and she stares at her bloody, greasy hands. They're trembling. I really killed someone. But I had to. If I hadn't, he would have... Oh my God. Oh my God. Pains of sorrow crack through my heart. Even after knowing what Fawn's done, she's still the woman I fell in love with all those years ago. And seeing her in pain brings a lump to my throat and burning in my eyes. Clarity flashes through her expression, without so much as a trace of hunger. Stepping forward, I reach out to place my hand on her shoulder. Don't, please. Dear, please, I don't want to hurt you either. Hesitating, my fingers curl back. They don't pull away quickly like touching a hot stove, but instead closed into a slow, loose fist, the kind that's made to protect my palm, instead of to punch someone. She seems so serious about it. It hurts me so much, because I still want to comfort Fawn in some way. I'll give you some space, okay? Whenever you're ready, I'll be here. Thank you. It's only after I slink away and lock my bedroom door that I break down into silent, shaking tears. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Why did it have to be us? Why couldn't this happen to anyone else? Burying my face in my hands is the only way I can stuff down the agonizing wail that tries to worm its way out of my throat. I have to stay strong for Fawn, no matter how far she slips into this downward spiral. I want to be there, the one who will catch her and love her regardless of what she does. But it's just not fair. I want to love her despite killing someone in her own home. Killing someone and eating him. I'm not sure how long I was crying on the ground. I just know I only got up after the sounds of Fawn scrubbing down the kitchen stopped. Wiping down my face and doing my best to keep my face neutral, I look at the time and realize I have to log in for work soon. Yeah, that's right. Work. Working should clear my head and think about what to do next. Alright, I've done it. I found that sneaky little ending too. It's actually just a variation of ending 1, which is probably why I was struggling to find it. Even with the strength I didn't know I had, whirling around and throwing Fawn off me is an intense struggle. She grabs at me, pawing and swinging, and I do everything I can to force the knife out of her hands. That's all I wanted to do, grab her wrist and throw the cleaver away from her. But something went wrong, and Fawn stumbled backwards over the hip-high railing, and she fell. Fawn! Despite everything I've been through, when I start to run down the stairs now, I run to save my Fawn. I run and run and run, until eventually I dash right into the arms of a police officer. It didn't take much for Fawn to be restrained. No matter how much she kicked and screamed, she was still lying on the ground with broken bones and punctured lungs. I watched as Fawn is strapped down to the gurney and wheeled away to the hospital. The police questioned me afterwards, asking about what Fawn had done. I didn't say a thing until I had a lawyer. The aftermath of everything was so exhausting. I could barely even remember my own name by the end of it. But I did what I had to do. Fawn was in the hospital. Maybe she'd get treated. Maybe she would just be comfortable until the end. And I was the one who brought her to the help she needed. At first, I thought my hunger was only because I wasn't so stressed anymore. When I worry, I don't eat. And besides, how could I find the appetite to eat when Fawn was chowing down on people in front of me? So for weeks, I began to eat more too. It happened so slowly. I almost understood why Fawn thought everything was okay. And then my hunger deepened. My limbs weakened and felt like stone, my knees stiffening as they struggled to keep my already dropping weight up. Nothing I did made the hunger any better, and for a brief moment, I could almost understand how Fawn got to that point where... Dana! Ah! So I got to that point as well, huh? I startled awake in a straitjacket. The lights that hang above me burn my sensitive eyes. It takes all my mental strength not to lean over and take a bite out of the man sitting in front of me. Is she lucid enough to be interviewed? I'm sure we can reschedule if it'd be more convenient. She's stable enough. You might have to ask her things a few times before she responds, though. You're not in any danger, don't worry. Actually, Dana checked herself in before she got any worse. I did. Right, I remember. Dana, do you know what could have caused your disease? Well, I did kiss my girlfriend, and she was rather diseased herself. The kiss? Could you repeat that? When I kissed her, she gave me a piece of her love. Because she loved me so much, she wanted me to eat with her too. I miss her. I take it we're not in the same hospital then. Ending 2. Gnawing hungers. We found it! We have become infected as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed that playthrough of fawning over a corpse. I've still got to wonder, do you think anyone noticed the pizza boy was missing? If you enjoyed that playthrough, I'd greatly appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe to this channel. But if not, you're a spooky day and I'll catch you next time, guys.